Steel City, what up? You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you are having a fantastic day, and your day will be made better with True Classic Tees, today's presenting sponsor. You can get 25% off by heading to trueclassictees.com/chat. Most importantly, though, when you plug in that link at the bottom of your screen, make sure you enter the promo code chat for that deal to apply. I've been rocking these shirts for a really long time. Not only are they comfortable, high quality, but also they fit men of all shapes and sizes. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So welcome here to the show. Really excited to break this down. Going to take a look at some players who Pittsburgh could look to target to bulk up this roster, especially with some depth pieces that have some question marks on this Steelers roster under head coach Mike Tomlin. First, though, I want you to help us cleanse our Facebook timelines of all of this blasphemous Ravens talk on Facebook, because I'm looking at my Facebook feed, and here at Chat Sports, we're seeing all these Ravens videos. Who cares? The Steelers are the real kings of this division, not the Baltimore Ravens. So how do you do that? Well, here on the channel, we understand that the demographic does skew a little bit older, so you can share this video on Facebook to just wipe out all those fraudulent Ravens fans. You click the share button, you select the Facebook icon. We need you to tag us here at Chat Sports. Use the hashtag #HereWeGo. That way a lot of other people can see it. Then you click post so that you can wipe out all of those Charm City frauds. Okay, here we go. The show is officially underway. First, going to look at some top offensive linemen that the Pittsburgh Steelers can sign. And there are some big notable names on this list. And we begin with Eric Fisher, longtime really quality tackle in this league, who up to this point remains unsigned in NFL free agency. He has a plethora of experience. He's 31 years old, obviously on the back nine of his career. And honestly, he's probably on like hole 16 or 17. But in a pinch, he'd be able to either serve as a backup on the Steelers roster, maybe even start a couple of games. And you look at his stats from last year, 874 snaps with the Indianapolis Colts. So he played a lot. He gave up 7 sacks, not good, 11 hits, 23 hurries. Pro Football Focus run grade, though, 73. League average hovering around 70. And with Najee Harris on this team, you expect Pittsburgh, especially if they go with Kenny Pickett, to run the football a little bit. Those are his strengths. But for Indianapolis last year, he wasn't as good as years previously, as he does get a little bit older and injury prone, and that's why up to this point he remains unsigned as a free agent. But maybe there's a better player in there in this Matt Canada scheme. So what do you think, Steeler fans? Is offensive line the biggest concern on this Steelers roster? I think it is, and it's been the biggest concern the last couple of years under Mike Tomlin. Great coach, wins a lot of games, but offensive system, a concern. They've tried to rebuild this offensive line over the last couple of years, and they've certainly struggled to do that. Another notable player, Ereck Flowers. He has certainly had some good moments throughout his career in the National Football League, but like Eric Fisher, last couple of years hasn't really played all that well. But left guard has certainly been a concern, and it continues to be a concern on the Steelers roster. And let's just say that Kenny Pickett does start for Pittsburgh. It is of the utmost importance to keep him upright, keep him healthy, because you don't want him, one, getting injured, and then two, if he gets hit a lot, makes a lot of mistakes, then he might damage his confidence, although I do like the cool, calm, and collected nature for Kenny Pickett. You look at the Steelers' offensive line here, and there's a reason why it's a concern, because right now, there aren't a lot of established players from left tackle to right tackle along this Steelers offensive line, as we've continued to talk about. As for what Flowers did last year, allowed 6 sacks, so a little bit better than Eric Fisher. 3 hits, also a little bit better, 17 hurries, but the Pro Football Focus run grade a little bit worse at 64.5. As I mentioned off the top of the show, Pittsburgh Steelers Talk presented by True Classic Tees, and back a couple years ago, I used to be a bigger guy before it was of the utmost importance for me to get in better shape and start working out every single day, as I've run 93 consecutive days. But when I was a bigger dude, I struggled to find a t-shirt that actually fit me well and made me look less fatter than I actually was. That's what True Classic has to offer. With some of the technology on these shirts, slim fit around the waist, they make you look a little bit slimmer, and they make you look more presentable and more professional. You can wear these shirts in a professional environment or kick it back watching the Steelers, and you can rock these too because they're very, very comfortable. Use the promo code CHAT, and you can get 25% off, and these shirts, very, very affordable, very comfortable, very durable, and they fit men of all shapes and sizes. One more time, it's trueclassictees.com/chat, promo code CHAT for that deal to apply. That link hanging out in the comment section and the description of this video. All right, we continue to keep it moving here. Zach Banner, another player out there. Now, if I'm going to decide among some of these players, I think Eric Fisher, Ereck Flowers, maybe a little bit better with Zach Banner. If you want to bring him back, you can certainly explore that if you want to. But this Steelers offensive line is certainly in a precarious situation right now because not only are the starters not only are the starters somewhat weak, but the backups also a little bit weak. Could Banner, knowing the system, level of familiarity, maybe give you some good tackle depth? Yeah, I guess, but still, these players are available for a reason. And when we talk about this tackle depth right now, that is a little bit of a problem, but the starter's also a problem for this team as well. Last year for Zach Banner, 4 games played, 0 sacks allowed. I think obviously at this point he gives you really good size at 6'8", 335, but he is not a long-term starter, more so a backup in this league. A lot more free agents still left to get to on today's show. First, though, do you want the best Steelers coverage this season? If that's the case, you got to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red sub button down below. I grew up on the eastern side of the state in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but honestly, Pittsburgh, one of the more underrated and scenic cities in America. Absolutely love it. So if you love the city and you love the Steelers, and you love us here at Pittsburgh Steelers Talk, and you haven't subscribed, do so right now. Another free agent we want to talk about is Trey Hopkins. Now, with all of these players, right, you're having a similar conversation. Okay, why are they still available on the free agency market? Well, they're available because other teams don't think that they can justify bringing these guys in. But if an injury happens along this offensive line for Pittsburgh, that's when you start to have these conversations. And for Trey Hopkins, he could be quality center depth at a position that is really, really important along this offensive line. Centers are some of the unsung heroes on a 53-man roster. And Cole has not wowed any of us so far at that starting center spot, or at that backup center spot, as there's been a little bit of a competition along this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. And Trey Hopkins last year, he did play a lot with the Cincinnati Bengals, a team who the Steelers are obviously familiar with in this AFC North, which once again expected to be one of the more competitive divisions in the National Football League. 15 games played, 4 sacks allowed, but we know that Bengals offensive line wasn't all that good last year. So we've talked about a couple of these free agents up to this point. I want to hear from you, though, because we appreciate your football knowledge in the comment section, because the Steelers, they have one of the greatest and most knowledgeable fan bases in the NFL. 5 Super Bowl championships will do that, steel curtain and all that. Name a free agent that you think the Steelers should sign. It could be one of the players who we've talked about or a different player. Just let us know a name right now in the comment section. Daryl Williams, again, a notable name, kind of like Eric Fisher, as well as Ereck Flowers, a longtime veteran in this league who's played a lot and has been able to really have value individually because of his versatility. And when I scout offensive linemen and when I look to bring in offensive linemen from a team building perspective, I'm always looking for guys who have that versatility, especially when it comes time for the NFL draft. If I can find a guard tackle hybrid, you can plug them in at both spots and they're able to serve a couple of purposes while only holding on to one singular roster spot. And for Daryl Williams, he offers you a little bit of that flexibility in the trenches along the offensive line. And last year, a bunch of snaps for the Buffalo Bills, 1,100 of them to be exact. But here's the problem. Overall grade, sub 68. Run blocking grade, 60. Pass blocking grade, though, pretty solid, above average. Again, average Pro Football Focus grade, 70 for him, 72.5 last year. Also, you could look to go in an avenue in which you look to identify some waived and cut players. Julian Davenport Cameron Hunt, Rashod Hill. These are players who have either been waived or cut. They're also available out there on the market too. If you made it to the end of today's video, I want you to type "Here we go" in the comment section. Let it rip down there. As always, we appreciate you for watching today's show. Don't forget to subscribe and keep it locked for the best Steelers coverage here on YouTube.